Hello and welcome to another Peteman Reviews. Today we have the Generation 1 Transformers Micromaster Transport Erector. Funny name, or not aside, Erector is quite a decent order bar transformer. He is clearly a crane with quite a large platform and quite a small crane compared to the size of the platform, and of course with a little cab. Now, Erector is obviously the companion to Rough Stuff. There were 4 Micromaster transports released in total, of which I'm reviewing 2 at the moment. Of the 2, Erector is by far a better one. I mean, I know this is said before on the Transformers Wiki network, but its detail is enough that there's actually to scale model windscreen wipers both on there and on the what do you call that? The crane cab. So it's quite good detail. Obviously they're all moulded rather than stickers or rather than movable items. But for a Micromaster, that's quite a high level of detail on there. I mean, when we did look at Rough Stuff before, you can see that there's nothing like that level of detail. Okay, he's got the little headlights, but certainly no concept of wind mirrors or windscreen wipers on that. Now, Erector does come with the kind of 5th wheel connection there and there, and by the layout of it gives a little bit more room so that you can move him around, which gives a more realistic cab motion, so you can drive around in circles and left and right, which is quite good actually. A lot of them don't have that option, it's just a straight line, so the fact that he can do that is quite a bit of a bonus really, considering the size of the model. In terms of actual transformation of the robot, pretty simple, like that, head pops up, and there we have Erector. It's a bit of an odd looking robot in that his waist is kind of like that, but you can also go like that, so you can kind of sit down, but with his knees articulated in totally the wrong way. It kind of makes his knees almost his waist, and his arms aren't really long enough to reach out of his chest. But again, it is a Micromaster, so you have to have a certain level of leeway, and there's only so much they can do with that size. Now, the actual cab itself has got almost 2 transformations to it. So you've got it as a crane here. You then can change it. So the crane pops off. This all comes out. This pops up. These come up here. I think they're meant to represent flashlights. Well, maybe not flashlights. Floodlights probably a better option. So you do have the option of leaving it like this, and you almost have it as a construction site then. I know that's not strictly true. Oh, I also forgot that these little legs come down here and on this side as well. They don't actually reach the ground, but they do provide a little bit of balance. So you almost have it there as kind of a construction site. But of course, he's not. He's meant to be a gun. So that's transforms out there. Now, Erector does have a couple of issues with him. We'll come on those in a second. You can see there as a little pad here, and the idea is Erector sits down here and works the gun. Not that he can reach it, so you kind of have to go like that. So, yeah, a little bit of a flaw there. That's one of them. The other one is this part actually transformed. It's not just a crate, it's actually a huge gun. Now, the gun's meant to go there, but when the gun's in there, as you can see, you can't rotate this gun, and this has a very narrow field of fire, so you either have to have this down like that to operate that, or not. So that's perhaps a little bit of a drawback. It could be more effective. Here we are. If we just show it on this side, so you've got the big gun like that, and you can move it around and so on, but then you can't raise the smaller one because this gets in the way. So if you put this in static in one field of fire, you can then raise that. Because that's in the way, you either have that like that and it's fairly useless, and like that. So it's a little bit of a problem with there. Erector himself, you might have spotted before, there's also another little thing there, and that goes into the slot there, so he can stand up as well to slot into place and work the gun, but of course only when the other gun's not in the way. So that's a little bit of design flaw there. Otherwise, it's actually quite a decent little base. Somewhat more effective than Rough Stuff. As I said in Rough Stuff's video, I quite like the concept of Rough Stuff, but the execution is perhaps lacking a bit. Now, obviously, Erector's not meant to design with someone like the full-blown, full-scale G1 models like Sideswipe here. Just because he's a Micromaster, he's meant to interact more with humans. Not that we have humans. I guess maybe Lego characters might be the right size for them. He can, of course, also interact with other Power Masters. He probably can interact with Power Masters and Nebulons, but also with other Micromasters like Powertrain. Not Powertrain. Well, it is Powertrain in that it's a Powertrain clone, but this is actually Ironworks. The yellow goes quite well. There's not quite enough room for them both to stand on there. Well, they can just about, but what Powertrain is meant. Sorry, what Ironworks is meant to do, I'm not sure. So really, it's only big enough for one at a time. But that said, you do have the options of linking them all together. What I can't see on Erector, or for that matter on Rough Stuff, is any linking lines to collect them. Ironworks has a ramp which can hook up to other bases. The transports don't have that. They are standalone. You can stand them next to each other and they'll probably look quite good, but they don't actually link with others. So there we are, so that's Erector for you. Quite a decent transport. The crane is quite effective. It looks quite good as a base. It's just it's unfortunate that you either have to have either or guns operational. You either have that gun, which can then fire, or you have to take that gun off and put this gun to get the most out of it. So that's a little bit of a missed opportunity, really. I kind of think they could have done that a bit better. But otherwise, that notwithstanding, it's actually quite nice, quite a good little effective thing. They're meant to be flashlights. I'm not really sure what they're meant to do because they don't really work in either mode. But never mind. You can, I guess, the main way they would work is like this, when you had him just out to stabilise the crane. So as he's in full construction mode, so there's no hint of any weapons about him. It's just a big crane that's been hauled into position, which is kind of works. So there we are. So that is the Generation 1 Transformers Micromaster Transport Erector. Thank you very much for watching. Please do leave any comments below and click on the other links, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.